for the Bullpen Show, where we get a chance to warm up for today's Colfax Viking baseball game. Now, let's head out to the bullpen.
Hello, and welcome to the NLWN-TV studio. Rick Olson here, and today it's the 1-7 Colfax Vikings, who are 0-7 in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference, as they're taking on the 6-4 Spring Valley Cardinals, who are 4-3 in conference play in a Dunn-St. Croix Conference matchup. The Vikings are coming off a 7-2 loss to the Durand, Arkansas Panthers last Thursday, while the Cardinals are coming off an 11-7 win over the Elmwood Plum City Wolves also on Thursday. The Vikings are looking to turn the tables on the Cardinals, who defeated the Vikings 4-3 in their first meeting of the season on April 10th. Now, coming up in today's Bullpen Show, we'll take a look at today's matchup between the Vikings and the Cardinals. Then we'll get to know one of the Viking players in Viking Profile. Finally, we'll send it out to the ballpark for some exciting high school boys baseball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout as you're tuned to the Bullpen Show on NLWN-TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
Welcome back to the Bullpen, where we're getting warmed up for today's Dunn-St. Croix Conference matchup between the Colfax Vikings and the Spring Valley Cardinals. The Vikings are coming off a 7-2 loss to the Durand, Arkansas Panthers last Thursday, while the Cardinals defeated the Elmwood Plum City Wolves 11-7 also on Thursday. Now, back on April 10th, the Cardinals and the Vikings opened their respective Dunn-St. Croix Conference seasons when the Cardinals picked up a walk-off 4-3 win over the Vikings. Now, in that game, the Cardinals opened the scoring in the bottom of the first inning when senior Trevor Forrester scored on a double steal. Then the Vikings tied the game in the top of the fourth when Zach Hedela scored from second on an RBI single by Brady Elmer. Then in the bottom of the fifth, Will Biggs scored from third when Caleb Bartko grounded to second, putting Spring Valley back on top 2-1. In the top of the sixth inning, the Vikings had runners on the corners with Hedela on third and Ryan Nichols on first. Nichols took off for second when Cardinal catcher Bartko fired the ball into center field, allowing Hedela to score, tying the game. Later that inning, Rob Holman hustled for an infield single, scoring Nichols, and the Vikings had a 3-2 lead. In the bottom of the seventh, with two runners on, Bartko singles on a hard ground ball to center field, allowing Cade Stashik, along with Forrester, to score, giving the Cardinals the 4-3 win. Now, on the season, Bartko and Stashik are both leading the Cardinals at the plate, with Bartko hitting .423 and Stashik hitting .400. On the mound, the Cardinals are being led by Will Biggs, who has a 2-win, 1-loss record with an ERA of 3.27 in 27 2/3 innings pitched. He's followed by Cade Stashik, who's pitched 12 innings and has a 1-1 record with a 5.25 ERA. Leading the way at the plate for the Vikings is senior Zach Hedela, who's putting up a .333 average. Following Hedela is Connor Arntzen, batting .231. Also hitting over .200 for the Vikings are Brady Elmer at .214, Drew Beekner at .211, and Grant Palowitz at .200. In limited action, Mason Smith is posting a .333 average. Now, leading the way on the mound is Hedela, who has struck out 32 in 17 1/3 innings pitched while posting an ERA of 2.42. Bailey is right behind Hedela, striking out 12 in 11 2/3 innings of work while posting an ERA of 3.00 and a whip of 1.37. Ryan Nichols has the only win of the season and has a 1-2 record. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get to know one of this season's Viking players on Viking Profile. You're warming up in the bullpen on NLWN-TV.
It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today we're talking with Orion Nichols, who's a junior here at Colfax High School. And Orion, we know that you play baseball, but what are some of the other activities you've been involved here?
I play basketball, golf, and then football.
So when did you start playing baseball, and what kind of an experience has that been for you?
Since elementary school, and it's been a good experience.
Okay, so what's the most important thing that you've learned playing baseball?
Definitely teamwork.
And it's a little different in baseball than, say, when it was in basketball. Sometimes it's all about your positioning and then the choreography of the movement when the ball gets hit, that type of thing.
Yeah, you always got to know where you're going to go with the ball.
And be a step ahead of the play.
Of course.
And it's not a reaction like it is in basketball, which is also important, but it's a whole different game. All right, so when you're not playing baseball or you're not here at school, what are some other things that interest you or keep you occupied?
I like fishing and hanging out with my friends.
So, here come the questions you know are coming. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Ice cream.
What kind?
Mint chocolate.
All right. Burger, brat, or hot dog?
Brat.
And what do you want on that brat?
Ketchup and mustard.
No kraut?
No.
Yeah, that looks at it all. Okay, your favorite color and why?
Blue.
Good color, okay. If you could have a superpower, what do you think that might be and why?
Definitely super speed.
Super speed, okay. Now, if you had super speed, of course you have to have a superhero name to go with that. So what's Orion's superhero name?
Big O.
Big O. And look quick, because you're going to miss it, because he's going to fly right on by. Is there a baseball player that you paid attention to in years past that has had an influence on the way you play your game?
Not in particularly. I like watching the Brewers.
Okay. All right. So we're talking today with Orion Nichols on Viking Profile. And Orion, what are your plans for after high school?
Maybe go to college. I don't really know what I'm going to do yet.
How about a shout out to the family?
Shout out mom, dad, sister, grandpa.
And when people come to Viking games, what number do you wear and where are we going to find you on the field?
I'll be number 10, and I'll either be pitching or playing first.
Okay, we want to thank Orion Nichols for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next, more of the Bullpen Show.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Menominee Eye and Optical can help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract or LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eyewear for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality personalized care for you and your family.
Welcome back to the Bullpen Show. Today the Vikings will take on the Spring Valley Cardinals in a Dunn-St. Croix Conference contest. Now, last Thursday, the conference had a full slate of games, including the Durand, Arkansas Panthers defeating the Colfax Vikings 7-2. It was the Elk Mound Mounders keeping their conference record perfect with a 9-2 victory over the Boyceville Bulldogs, and the Mondovi Buffaloes blanked the Glenwood City Hilltoppers 10-0. It was the Spring Valley Cardinals gaining an 11-7 win over the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Now that leaves the Dunn-St. Croix Conference as follows. In first place are the 8-0 Elk Mound Mounders. They're followed by the Mondovi Buffaloes at 7-1 and just one game out. The Boyceville Bulldogs and Spring Valley Cardinals sit in third place at 4-3 and 3.5 games off the pace. Fifth place sees the Durand, Arkansas Panthers at 3-3 and 4 games back, while the Glenwood City Hilltoppers at 2-5 hold down sixth place. In seventh place, we find the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, and eighth place belongs to the Colfax Vikings. Today, the Dunn-St. Croix Conference again has a full slate of games, including the Spring Valley Cardinals paying a visit to the Colfax Vikings, and the Glenwood City Hilltoppers will play host to the Elk Mound Mounders. In addition, it will be the Mondovi Buffaloes traveling to Boyceville to face the Bulldogs, and the Durand, Arkansas Panthers will journey to Elmwood to take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Now, if the Vikings are going to turn their season around, this would be a good place to start, as they came so close back on April 10th. Once again, the fielding needs to focus and stay focused on the little details so as not to allow extra bases or extra outs for the opponents. And the bats still need to be aggressive. If the Vikings can do that, their pitching has been strong enough to put them in a position to win. Now that said, the stage is set for some exciting high school baseball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on NLWN-TV. Now in just a moment, I'll join our broadcast crew at Colfax High School as we bring you all the action of today's Dunn-St. Croix Conference game between the Colfax Vikings and the Spring Valley Cardinals. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to The Bullpen Show on NLWN-TV.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
You've been tuned to The Bullpen Show, where we've had an opportunity to get warmed up for today's Colfax Viking baseball game. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking baseball.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
Colfax Vikings baseball is on the air.
Hedela rounds third. He's going to try to score, and Hedela comes in to score. Bailey moves over to second on the throw to the plate.
NLWN-TV, along with Colfax High School, proudly brings you today's Colfax Vikings baseball game.
And there he gets it, right down the third base line, out into left field. One run comes in. Here comes a second run in to score.
Now, it's out to the ballpark in today's Colfax Viking baseball game.
And good afternoon, and welcome to Colfax High School. Rick Olson here along with Joe Doucette, Amanda Lemler on the computer, and Dan Petschow on the camera as we're getting ready to bring you the Vikings taking on the Spring Valley Cardinals. And Joe, when these two teams met back in early April, the Vikings took a lead into the seventh inning, and only to have Spring Valley walk them off on a two-run single. They came so close.
Yeah, that would have been a big win, and and they're struggled a little bit since, but I think today's a new day, and I think they're going to be pretty tough.
And it's a good time to turn the corner and salvage the season, and I think there's still time left to, they're not in the championship race, but there is time left to get a little something going and maybe make some noise come the WIAA playoffs.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's still early.
So, Joe, why don't you fill us in on who's playing in today's game?
You bet. For Spring Valley, Head coach Brandon Walczyk. Leading off and pitching, Cade Stashik. Batting second, playing first base, Trevor Forrester. Batting third, playing center field, Will Biggs. Batting fourth and doing the catching, Caleb Bartko. Batting fifth, playing shortstop, Jake Hannock. Batting sixth, playing third base, Braden Gregg. Batting seventh, playing left field, Wyatt Smith. Batting eighth, playing second base, Chase Rudd. Batting ninth, doing the designated hitting, Mason, let's see here, Mason Winger, that's it, I misspelled it. And then playing right field, Mason Wolf. For the Colfax Vikings, led by head coach Ben Anderson. Leading off, playing center fielder, Drew Beekner. Batting second, playing shortstop, Caleb Bailey. Batting third, designated hitter, Zach Hedela. Batting fourth and pitching, Orion Nichols. Batting fifth, playing first base, Brady Elmer. Batting sixth and catching, Rob Holman. Batting seventh, playing second, Connor Arntzen. Batting eighth, playing third, Grant Cook. Batting ninth, playing left field, Grant Paulus. And playing right field, freshman Cole Parzik.
So the Vikings, well, it helps if I turn my microphone on. That works better that way. So the Vikings are taking advantage of the designated hitter today, something they don't normally do. That's due to the fact that Zach Hedela has one of his wings is a little under the weather, and so, but he can still be a designated hitter. And
yeah, he's a big key. He's one of their best players and just a super talented kid, and I hope it doesn't linger.
And this way he still has the ability to contribute to the team effort, and I know he's pretty excited about that, at least being able to pitch in and help out. And Vikings still looking for that first conference win. They got a few things to clean up, Joe.
Yeah, like you talked, Rick, I think they got to catch the ball better, probably throw more strikes and put the ball in play batting and have a little bit better at bats. And I think if they can do those things, that they have a chance to be competitive.
Well, in my head, they've got to step up to the plate believing that they're going to hit the ball, and then realizing that if you're going to do that, you got to swing the bat.
Yeah.
And that's something that they've seems to have forgotten to do once in a while. They've watched a lot of really good pitches go by, and they just don't have the ability to do that anymore. And the other thing that happens is if you get a reputation of not swinging and trying to draw walks,
they come right after you.
And not only that, the strike zone, I don't think it's intentional by the umpire.
Yeah.
I think it's just a natural thing, but the strike zone does tend to get bigger.
Yeah, I've always thought that first good one's a good one to hit, and as long as you're not chasing.
And so we'll have to see if they can kind of get themselves out of that funk and be ready to hit the ball today. This is a team that they should be competitive with. So
yeah, I agree.
Let's see what happens.
And a beautiful day.
Oh my goodness, we've been waiting for this, haven't we?
Yeah, it's nice.
Mid-70s and sunny. This is baseball weather. And we'll be back with some more baseball action right after this timeout as you're tuned to Viking Baseball on NLWN-TV.
There are a lot of words I would use to describe my daughter. Kind, strong, hilarious. When I think about how much she's experienced in her life, we can't help but be inspired by her every day. So really, we are the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
Let NLWN-TV take you out to the ballgame. Our next broadcast broadcast will be on Saturday, May 10th, when we will bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks in a doubleheader from Carson Park. Live coverage on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 12 noon. That's live Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Saturday, May 10th on NLWN-TV.
We at NLWN-TV are excited to take you out to the ballpark for Colfax Viking baseball. Our next game will be on Thursday, May 8th, when the Vikings travel to Elk Mound to take on the Elk Mound Mounders from the Village Park in Elk Mound. Our coverage begins with the Bullpen Show, where we'll warm you up for baseball action starting at 4:40 p.m. That's Colfax High School baseball on Thursday, May 8th.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Get in touch with the roots of the Chippewa Valley at the Chippewa Valley Museum, located in Eau Claire's Carson Park, with a mission of connecting people to their community and inspire curiosity. From reinventing the Chippewa Valley, a century of change in farm life, the Farmhouse Theater, along with the Wisconsin Logging Museum and Logging Camp. Also, the Chippewa Valley Museum features special temporary exhibits and traveling exhibits, as well as web exhibits. The Chippewa Valley Museum is open Tuesdays through Saturdays. Call for more information at 715-834-7871.
And we're back here at Colfax High School Managers and Umpires meeting out at home plate, and want to remind you that the summer hours for the Chippewa Valley Museum will begin on May 31st. Make sure you check out cvmuseum.com. That's cvmuseum.com for more information. Also, this reminder that the exhibit Anderson to Yang, along with the traveling exhibit Rocks and Hard Places, which is on loan from the Vesterheim Museum in Decorah, Iowa, both of those exhibits are running through the end of August. It's very much worth a stop by and a visit to the Chippewa Valley Museum in Carson Park. So they're going over the ground rules, and I didn't get the names of the umpires. You recognize either of them, Joe?
No, I'll see if I can figure it out.
They're brothers, Amanda says. So
One's Paul and one's Joe, I think.
Paul and Joe. Okay. So it's the Paul and Joe show. And so we're just about set to get things going. Ryan Nichols getting the start for the Vikings. In spite of what you might see on Wii Sports or on Game Changer, Ryan Nichols is the only one with a win for the Vikings.
Yeah.
They somehow gave the win down at Cochran Fountain City to Zach Hedela, but he didn't pitch enough innings to get the win, and he only went one inning.
Yeah.
And so Orion was the pitcher of record once they got past the fourth inning.
Yeah, he's a big key today. He's got to throw strikes and just be tough mentally and get ahead, and hopefully the defense can help him a little more than they have.
And as you were saying, Joe, it really helps if the pitcher comes in with a strike right off the bat. Pitch from ahead.
Yeah, we've been talking about that a lot. It makes it a lot easier.
And we'll turn it over to the public address announcer and get their version of the starting lineups.
Tiffany. Thank you so much, President.
And that was the playing of our national anthem here at Colfax High School as the Vikings are on the field getting ready for tonight's ball game.
Paul and Larry Osman.
There we go.
Yep, I think Paul pitched some pro ball back in the day, if I stand correct.
And we get the play ball call by some 12U baseball players. That's almost like throwing out the first pitch, isn't it?
Yeah, very similar.
Our cameraman Dan got that honor over in Augusta as we give an award when we do CRBL games to the team that has the best hot dogs. And it's called the Top Dog Award, and we gave it to the Augusta Athletics for the 2024 season. And we did that just over a week ago, and as part of that whole award day, Dan got to throw out the first pitch
I heard he threw a strike.
He came really close, actually. I've seen some really bad first pitch throws that have still been called strikes, but his was actually pretty close to a legit strike, to the point where the Augusta manager goes, wow. And I said, go ahead and sign him.
He's a great guy.
All right, stepping up for the Spring Valley Cardinals is Cade Stashik.
What a career he's had in all sports, eh, Rick? Just a great kid.
And the first pitch is a called strike at the knees. Ryan Nichols, 1-2 on the season. And that pitch just missed inside. Counts even at 1-1. Vikings defensively, Cook at third, Bailey at short. Foul tip. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Arnson's at second, Elmer's at first. Holman is behind the plate. That one's a little low for a ball. Counts even at 2-2. Out in the outfield it goes Paulus, Beekner, and Parzik going from left to right. And Stashik goes down on strikes. It's going to bring up Trevor Forster.
Good pitch by Nichols.
That's a good start for Orion.
Yeah, first pitch strike. Yeah, another one.
That was a nice pitch, and Forster fouled it off.
Yeah. Freshman Holman did a nice job of framing that one and bringing it up a little bit, making it look a little better.
He got his first start a couple games ago, and he looks like he's getting more comfortable in there. Fly ball out into center field. Drifting over is Beekner, and he makes the catch for the out.
Good start for Orion, a lot of strikes.
2 down in the top of the first inning. Brings up Will Biggs.
He's got the Spring Valley home run. They've hit and won, and he hit it.
Batting .242. Fly ball out into right field. Is going to fall in for a base hit. Little Texas leaguer there.
Yeah.
He hit it where they ain't. That's how you get on. Caleb Bartko, the catcher, is at the plate. And there's a strike at the knees. No balls, 1 strike, and the 0-1 pitch just a little high. Just missed the shoulders that time. Nichols delivers. Inside for a ball. Blocked by Holman.
Yeah, Biggs has got 5 stolen bases, but hasn't gone yet.
Nichols got the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Runner on first. Nichols at the belt. And the 2-2 pitch. Hard hit ground ball right over to second, though. Throw to first in time. Arnson over to Elmer. And that'll do it for the Cardinals in the top of the first inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We've played a half inning, and it's Spring Valley 0 and the Vikings coming to bat on NLWN-TV.
Our goal at Woods Run Forest Products is the same today as it was when we started back in 1978. That is, to produce lumber products that best fit the customer's needs. We can achieve that goal by utilizing local talent and local timber to fit customers' needs. Whether you're a commercial contractor or a do-it-yourselfer. Check out the products available at Woods Run Forest Products in Colfax.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
So we're going into the bottom of the first inning, as the Vikings held the Spring Valley Cardinals to nothing that first inning.
Yeah, great start.
Due up for the Vikings, we have Drew Buechner, Caleb Bailey, and Zach Hedela. Taking a look at the Cardinals defensively, Greg is at third, Hannock at short, Rudd is at second, Forster at first, Bartko behind the plate, Smith, Biggs, and Wolf in the outfield, and Cade Stashik on the mound. So stepping to the plate is Drew Buechner. He's been hitting the ball hard, but right at people.
Yeah. I think he's going to have a big game.
Check swing, and he went. But at least he was thinking about swinging the bat. And the pitch. Curveball outside.
You know, Buechner's such a big key at the top of the order. It seems like if he gets on, it's a big plus for us.
The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball foul down the third baseline.
Now he's got to put the ball in play, Rick.
1-2. Stashik winds and delivers. That missed outside for a ball. Counts even at 2-2. Here's the wind and the 2-2 pitch. Fly ball out into left field. Going to fall in for a base hit. Buechner rounds first. He's going to stay there. That's going to bring up Caleb Bailey.
Good swing by Buechner.
And you're right, he just put the ball in play.
Yeah, a lot of good things can happen. He's going to run.
And here's the pitch. He's off and running. Throw down to second. Throw is high. Buechner's in safe. Pitch was a ball to Bailey.
Good throw by Bartko. Just a little high.
And the pitch. Swing and a miss.
You know, here's where Bailey, get him to third somehow. You know, a double in the gap would be great, but get him to third.
Even with nobody out, a bunt would not be out of the question here.
Yeah.
Foul tip. Count goes to 1-2. And the pitch. Hard shot. It's going to get through. Rounding third is Buechner. He's going to come in, and he's in safely. And the throw to second, and they got Bailey at second. So give Bailey an RBI single. to center field, and then he was out 8-2 to 6.
I believe shortstop. Good at bat by Bailey.
And that'll bring up Zach Hila. He hits the ball over to short, scooped up by Hannock, throw over to first, and a nice scoop at first by Forrester.
Let's go, 10.
Let's go, 10. You're due, buddy. Give it a ride.
That'll bring up the pitcher, Orion Nichols. Stashik winds and fires. That's a strike called at the letters on the outside corner. Stashik delivers. That one got the inside edge.
Yeah, 2 good pitches.
No balls and 2 strikes to Orion Nichols. And that one's in the dirt.
Yeah, good take.
That was his chase pitch, I believe.
Yeah, looked like a changeup.
Stashik winding, and he fires. Curveball, grounded over toward first, picked up there by Forrester, and he takes it himself. And the Vikings are down in the first, but they do pick up 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors, nobody left on base. So we've played an inning, and it's the Colfax Vikings 1 and the Spring Valley Cardinals 0. You're tuned to Viking Baseball on NLWN-TV.
Get in touch with the roots of the Chippewa Valley at the Chippewa Valley Museum, located in Eau Claire's Carson Park, with a mission of connecting people to their community and inspire curiosity. From reinventing the Chippewa Valley, a century of change in farm life, the Farmhouse Theater, along with the Wisconsin Logging Museum and Logging Camp. Also, the Chippewa Valley Museum features special temporary exhibits and traveling exhibits, as well as web exhibits. The Chippewa Valley Museum is open Tuesdays through Saturdays. Call for more information at 715-834-7871.
And again, I want to remind you that the summer hours for the Chippewa Valley Museum are going to begin on May 31st. Make sure you check that out by contacting or going to the website, cvmuseum.com, for more information. And don't forget about those 2 exhibits they've got going on at the Chippewa Valley Museum. The first one, Anderson to Yang. That's one they put together, and it's kind of about the immigrant influxes into the Chippewa Valley. And then there's a traveling exhibit, Rocks and Hard Places. It's on loan from the Vesterheim Museum in Decorah, Iowa. Both of those exhibits run through the end of August. Leading off the second inning, Jake Hannock, the shortstop for the Spring Valley Cardinals. He's going to be followed by Braden Gregg and Wyatt Smith. That first pitch missed a little low. Nichols fires. Swing and a miss for a strike. And the 1-1 pitch. Fly ball out into right field, foul territory, out of play.
Nichols likes the warm weather. He's still them 2 pretty hard.
Yeah. Well, it's such a beautiful day, it's hard not to throw well today. I think I could even go out there and throw a strike or 2. I'm not saying how many pitches it would take for me to throw a strike or 2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Second strikeout of the day for Nichols. It's going to bring Braden Gregg. That pitch missed low and away. And a soft nubber over to short. Picked up by Bailey. Throw to first in time. Caleb Bailey did a nice job of staying down on the ball, scooping the ball, and made a good hard throw right on target to first. Those kinds of plays have been rare for the Vikings this season, and it was nice to see that happen. Wyatt Smith, the left fielder. And that pitch was inside. Here's the wind and the pitch. That one missed. 2 balls, no strikes. And a high pop foul. And Holman couldn't get there. I was going to say, you've got to get rid of the mask. You've got to turn around, find the ball, deal with the sun, and the breeze is blowing, and as Joe's chasing his papers around here, and then still make the catch, and it's a tough play. There's the pitch. That's a strike at the letters. Counts even at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down in the second. And the 2-2 pitch. High pop foul out of play on the right side. Here's the wind and the pitch. Foul tip.
Nichols is pounding the strike zone, and even his misses are close. Makes a big difference.
It's kind of that theory of pitch to contact. Oh, that just missed. You're right. He's not very far off when he misses. Full count with 2 down to Wyatt Smith. Here's the wind and the payoff pitch. Fouled away, out of play.
Let's go, Town. Win the battle, buddy.
And the pitch. High pop up. And Bailey can't make the catch. It kind of fell in between the trio out there of Bailey and Arnson and Beekner.
No, they're not talking to each other.
And so Smith is going to get a base hit on that. It kind of fell in the Bermuda Triangle there. That pitch is high. Chase Rudd is at the plate. And the pitch just missed.
Yeah.
2 down, runner on first. 2-0 the count. And the pitch by Nichols. That missed high, ball 3.
He looked comfortable in the windup, but let's see about the stretch.
And the pitch. And ball 4. First walk given up by Nichols. And that's going to bring up Mason Winger. He's the designated hitter. Pitch was outside for a ball.
Not missing by much.
And the pitch. It's ball 2. And there's a strike called. That's got to feel better for Orion.
Yeah, I think so.
That was high for ball 3. That one got away from him a little bit. And the pitch. And ball 4.
Yeah.
So the bases are loaded now.
Yeah, big early spot.
Two down.
Yep, Cade Stashik, one of the conference's best athletes. Rick, you've seen him play a lot of basketball and football. Tremendous kid.
So we have a little conference going on out at the mound. Coach DeMoe out there. Trying to calm him down a little bit. It's got to be kind of frustrating for Ryan because he has not been missing by much overall.
No.
He had one that kind of got away from him a little bit.
Started with that little bloop and then 2 walks. Big spot here for him.
And that got Stashik in the back, and that's going to be an RBI hit by pitch. So Trevor Forster, who flew out to center field his first time up, hits a fly ball towards left field, heading over, and it's going to fall in foul territory. Grant Paulus heading over there, not able to catch up to it. And the pitch. There's a strike called. No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Curveball high, but tried to get him to chase it. Just a little bit out of the zone.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, sometimes pitching outside the zone is just as important. Time called. Depending on the situation that you're in, sometimes just outside the zone is what you might want to do. Here comes the pitch. Strike 3 called. Trevor Forrester goes down looking, and for the Cardinals, they pick up 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors, and the bases were left full. So we've played an inning and a half, and we're all tied here in Colfax, 1 apiece on NLWN-TV.
The teen years are a great time for your child to gain practical experience in managing finances. Perhaps he or she already has a summer job lined up. A free checking account at Dairy State Bank can help teens learn to set a budget, track spending, use a debit card, make deposits, and more. Plus, parents are account co-owners and have the ability to supervise the learning process. Give us a call today. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
So we're going into the bottom of the second inning with the Vikings and the Cardinals all tied at 1. Due up for the Vikings this half inning, Brady Elmer, Rob Holman, and Connor Arnson. And again, just like that first inning,
Yeah.
if they go up there thinking that it's time to be swinging the bat, good things can happen.
Yeah.
Here's the pitch to Brady Elmer. Ground ball over to third, and it goes under the glove. And Elmer is going to get on. Again, this is a case of you put the ball in play. It may not be a base hit, but good things can happen.
Yeah. Hit it pretty hard, Rick.
But it even glanced off Greg's glove over at third.
Yeah.
And so it's an error on the third baseman. And there's a called strike. But again, Brady Elmer was swinging the bat right away.
Yeah.
Stashik glances at first, and the pitch. It's inside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Hey, trust your hands now, 6.
And the pitch. Curveball missed. And a ground ball to short. Flip to second for 1. Throw to first. It's not going to be in time. So Brady Elmer is out 6-4. And Rob Holman's on a fielder's choice. It's going to bring up Connor Arnson. Two balls, no strikes. Ball gets by, and down to second goes Holman. Three balls, no strikes to Connor Arnson. 3-0 is the count.
Probably taking here, Rick.
I would be. He's showing bunt, pulls back, and it's outside for a ball.
What do you say, buddy?
Runners at first and second. It's going to bring up Grant Cook.
Right somewhere.
Swing and a miss for strike 1.
Make contact.
Even though he missed that one, Joe,
That's a good swing, yeah.
I'm glad to see they're up there swinging the bat.
Yeah. He had a great freshman year. I am waiting for him to get hot here.
Stashik delivers. Nubs it foul down the first baseline.
Taking up on it now. Take the next one.
Fisted that one.
Yeah.
No balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. And the pitch. Curveball missed. Boy, that was a big bender that time.
Yeah.
And the pitch. Another curveball. He swung at it and missed. They got him to chase that one.
Yeah.
So 2 down.
Let's go, Grant.
It's going to bring up Grant Paulus.
Put that one around.
Hey, Barrels, bud, let's see it.
Yeah. Come on, Grant. Same as I am. I've got right.
Stashik delivers. Paulus swings and misses for strike 1. 2 runners on for the Vikings. Good base hit, should score a run. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Watch it all the way to the end of the bat.
Stashik delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So the Vikings go down in the second with no runs, no hits. There was 1 Cardinal error and 2 were left on base. So we've played 2 innings. We're tied at 1 on NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV take you out to the ballgame. Our next broadcast will be on Saturday, May 10th, when we will bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks in a doubleheader from Carson Park. Live coverage on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 12 noon. That's live Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Saturday, May 10th on NLWN-TV.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
We're heading into the top of the 3rd inning. And we're all tied at 1 apiece. Spring Valley Cardinals and the Colfax Vikings. Due up for the Cardinals, Will Biggs, Caleb Bartko, and Jake Hannock. Biggs, who singled to right field his first time up. Hit that little Texas leaguer out there.
Yeah, they got a couple of those. But.
And there's a pitch right down the middle of Main Street.
But the thing that hurts us is the walks and the hit batters.
Yeah. Soft fly ball, another Texas leaguer. This one out into center field. Biggs has a 2-hit day going for him. That's going to bring up Caleb Bartko, who grounded to second his last time up. The pitch is inside. Here's the pitch. That one's high. Biggs with a lead. There's a fly ball out into right center field and caught out there by Parzik. So 1 down as Biggs retreats back to first base. Jake Hannock steps to the plate. He struck out his first time up. And the runner goes, throw down to second, not in time. Pitch was a little bit too far outside.
Yeah.
Holman didn't have much of a chance to make the throw. He made a good effort at it.
Yeah, he did.
Got a good arm.
I like him.
Here's the pitch. That's a strike called on the inside edge. A ball and a strike with an out. And the pitch. Inside, ball 2. 3 balls and a strike now to Jake Hannock. And the pitch. There's a strike. On that inside corner again, right at the knees. Full count. Ryan Nichols delivers. We got a fly ball out towards center field. Beekner is under it, and he makes the catch. Beekner did a nice job that time when he made the catch.
Yeah,
he took a couple steps backwards so that as he caught the ball, he was actually stepping forward to make the throw just in case the runner was going to try to advance.
Yep, that's what you're taught.
That pitch is a little bit high for a ball. Braden Gregg grounded to short his last time up. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Nichols threw that one right by him.
Yeah, I threw that hard.
Nichols at the belt, looks at second, and delivers. Oh, that just missed outside. Counts even at 2-2. 2 down. Will Biggs out on second. And the 2-2 pitch. Fly ball out in towards right field. Parzik makes the catch for the 3rd out. So for the Cardinals, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. We've played 2.5, and it's still all tied at 1 on NLWN-TV.
Bowling, America's pastime. From enjoying family fun to participating in a league, bowling is a central part of our culture. Let Viking Bowl and Lounge help you introduce bowling to your family. They offer a full menu, as well as drinks and activities to please all ages. That's the Viking Bowl and Lounge on Main Street in Colfax. Call 715-962-3252.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Back here at Colfax High School, as we're going to head into the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Still all tied. Top of the order for the Vikings, Drew Beekner, who singled to left his last time up, came around and scored the Vikings run.
Yeah, he's a big key. Very good athlete.
And as a strike at the letters.
You know, if he gets on, it's like a double.
Yeah, he may only get to first on the hit, but he'll take the next pitch and go to second.
Yeah.
That time Stashik was trying out for the cricket team, I think. It was more like the cricket style of pitch.
Yeah, mixed in that changeup.
1 ball and 1 strike. And that one's in the dirt in the left-handed batter's box. 2 balls and a strike. I don't think Stashik wants to give him anything too good. Foul tip into the glove.
Yeah, good swing. Stashik, though, what a competitor. He's used to winning and pretty good at whatever he does.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Drew Beekner. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Good pitch.
That'll bring up Caleb Bailey. Singled his last time up, driving Beekner in, and then was thrown out trying to stretch it into a double. And somebody contact air traffic control, because that one's in danger of low-flying aircraft.
And that one got away from him.
Yeah, it did. In fact, the people behind the plate didn't even have to duck. And that pitch is down low. 2 balls, no strikes. And that one bounces on the plate. 3-0 is the count to Caleb Bailey. And the pitch. That one's down low, ball 4. He's also got good speed, Joe. Don't be surprised if you see him over on second.
Yeah.
That'll bring up Zach Hedela, grounded to short his last time up.
Stashik struggling a little bit on those 4.
Yeah, 4-pitch walk.
Yeah.
And they weren't even that close.
There he goes, no.
That one's outside.
Big spot for Hedela. I think he's a great hitter.
He's leading the team. That pitch is low. Throw back. Oh, no, they've got him caught in a rundown. And finally they make the tag on Caleb Bailey.
I'll let you score that one.
Goes down as a caught stealing. Actually, probably a caught sleeping is what it was.
A lot of throws in that rundown. Wasn't textbook, but got the job done.
Two balls, no strikes. That one's high. Three balls, no strikes. The 3-0 pitch. And ball 4. That caught stealing looks really big right now. And we're going to have a conference at the mound.
Yeah, for some reason he just kind of lost his control and
I think they're just
talking about it a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think they're making a change yet.
I think Biggs in center field has got the most innings coming into the game, and Stashik second. And he's going to stay.
So Ryan Nichols steps to the plate. He grounded to first unassisted his last time up. And the first pitch is high. Throw down to first. Hedela back. Bartko not taking anything for granted behind the plate.
He throws the ball well.
Stashik delivers. It's inside for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. And the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. That might have been a hair out of the zone, but it looks awfully big when it's coming in at shoulder height.
Yeah.
And there's a grounder over to second, throw to first in time. So Nichols grounds out 4-3, and the Vikings go down in the third with no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. We've played 3, and it's still tied at 1 on NLWN-TV.
Shocking as it may seem, electricity doesn't always do what you want. When that happens to you, call Clucas Electric. Clucas Electric can take care of anything from a bad light switch, remodels, new construction, or replacing the main service on your home. Plus, Clucas Electric is now the authorized service provider for Briggs & Stratton home generators. So, for all your electrical needs, call Clucas Electric at 715-651-5064. That's Clucas Electric in Colfax.
Losing the fear of looking foolish comes with age.
Who did you steal them from?
Losing your way in your own home doesn't. Confusion with time and place may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Mom, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's.
Too much crammed in one day.
We're going to head into the 4th inning. All tied at 1.
Yeah, great game.
Beautiful day for baseball, and we're getting a nice ball game to go with it.
Yeah.
Boy, we've been waiting all season for this kind of weather, haven't we, Joe?
Yeah, it's nice.
Due up for the Spring Valley Cardinals, Wyatt Smith, Chase Rudd, and Mason Winger. Here's the pitch. That's down in the dirt. And that one's also down in the dirt. Rudd had to kind of jump to get out of the way, or Smith had to jump to get out of the way of that. Smith singled to center field his last time up. And he came around. Now there, the coach is trying to talk Wyatt Smith into being hit by the pitch, and I'll hand it to Wyatt Smith. He's an honest kid. He said, "No, it didn't hit me." That one's low and inside for ball 3.
All right, bring it back, 10.
I don't know. I've ever seen a player do that.
Yeah.
You have a chance to get a free pass, and it said, "No, it didn't hit me." There's a strike. Ryan Nichols throws the get me over pitch.
He's got to come right after him.
The wind and the 3-1 pitch. Ground ball. It's over to second. Arnson fires to first. They got him.
It's a good play by Connor.
That's going to bring up Chase Rudd. He drew a walk when Nichols had that little bit of a control hiccup in the 2nd inning.
Yeah.
Walked 2 and then hit a batter.
Nice play by Arnson. You know, those are the plays you got to make, Rick.
They are.
Yeah.
That pitch is inside for a ball. Here's the wind and the pitch. That one missed outside. The wind up and the pitch. Foul back into the screen. 2 balls and a strike to Chase Rudd.
Go, 10.
And a pitch. Strike at the knees. Counts 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3.
Here you go, 10.
That's the 4th strikeout by Nichols. It's going to bring up Mason Winger, who also drew a walk his last time up. That one missed outside. We've got kind of a sideways view, but that looked like it was probably his curveball, just missed the corner.
Yeah.
Fastball swung on a miss for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the wind and the 1-1 pitch. That was inside in the dirt. Two balls and a strike. Cade Stashik on deck. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. That was that curveball. Or maybe a changeup. He pulled the string on it one way or another.
Yeah.
And the pitch. Ooh, that didn't miss by very much. The old umpire took a second look and then decided, nope, he's not going to give it to you. Full count. And a high pop foul out of play. Right behind us. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down.
Yeah, throw another fastball here, Rick, and get after him.
Nichols winds and fires, and that's what he did. Threw the fastball right past him, and that'll do it for the Cardinals in the 4th inning. They pick up no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base, and we've played 3.5, and it's the Vikings 1, Cardinals 1 on it, NLWN-TV.
It is springtime at the Concierge Home Decor and More in Colfax. The Concierge is a small-town decor shop that specializes in home, farmhouse, wedding, nursery, and holiday decor. The Concierge at 225 Bremer Avenue is open from 11 to 5 on Wednesdays through Fridays and 9 to 1 on Saturdays. Transform your house into a home with their selection of chic home decor pieces and thoughtful gifts for every occasion. Call the Concierge at 715-704-6008. That's the Concierge Home Decor and More in Colfax.
You know you don't have to wear your PT gear anymore, right?
It's comfortable.
So how's civilian life treating you?
It's fine.
When I got out, I didn't want to admit that there was anything wrong because I felt like a failure. And then I realized, like, there's nothing to be ashamed of. So I started talking to someone. Maybe you are fine, but if you're not, it's okay.
Thank you.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Cade Stashik returns to the mound for the Spring Valley Cardinals for the bottom of the 4th inning. Due up for the Vikings, Brady Elmer, Rob Holman, and Connor Arnson. Elmer got on his first time up on a hard-hit ground ball over to third that went right under the glove of Greg. In fact, it glanced off the glove of Greg.
Go, Brady. Get it going.
So it got charged as an error to Greg, but you put the bat on the ball, good things happen. That pitch is outside for a ball.
Yeah, 1-1 game. I think the next run's a big one.
I think you're right. Stashik winds and delivers. That one's in the dirt. 2 balls. This is oftentimes considered a hitter's pitch.
Yeah.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's a strike called at the knees. But it's also one of those that's got to be right where you like it. So now 2 balls and 1 strike. Now you got to be a battler up there. And the pitch caught the outside corner. Counts even at 2-2.
It's right there, Brady. That's right there.
Win the battle, buddy. Win the battle.
1-7.
Stashik likes that call. He winds and delivers. Outside. Count goes full to Brady Elmer.
All right, Brady, win the battle here.
And the payoff pitch. That's high for ball 4. So Brady Elmer draws the walk. That's going to bring up Rob Holman. Grounded into a fielder's choice. His last time up. As they got Brady Elmer at second. Brady Elmer is a nice kid, but he's not graced with a lot of speed. There's a high pop-up in the infield. Coming in is Hannock, and he makes the catch. Elmer does not get back to first. A base running mistake by Brady Elmer. So he's doubled off. So now there's 2 down, and Connor Arnson steps to the plate. That pitch is outside.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. If he
got a little too far off the bag and didn't. Little lackadaisical coming back to first.
Yeah. Heads up play by Spring Valley.
There's a strike called. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 down. And the pitch, that's in the dirt for a ball. And the pitch, that one's also in the dirt. Looks like Stashik might be overthrowing a little bit. 3 balls and a strike. Here's the wind in the 3-1 pitch. That one's in the dirt for ball 4.
Come on, Graham.
That's the second walk drawn by Connor Arnson.
Yeah.
Come on, Grant.
That'll bring up Grant Cook, who went down swinging his first time up.
Put it out there.
Arnson, a pretty good athlete. I wonder if he'll run. Bartko throws the ball well, though.
And the pitch. High pop-up. It's in the infield. Hannock moving in, and he makes a catch. So for the Vikings, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base, or 1 left on base. So we've played 4 innings, and we're still tied at 1 on NLWN-TV.
New construction in need of plumbing or older plumbing in need of repair, Logslet Plumbing is the one to call, just like these satisfied customers said.
They did all the plumbing in our new build from start to finish. They are dependable, honest, and easy to work with. They even give suggestions for products that are great quality but inexpensive. We put all our trust in Logslet Plumbing, and they did not disappoint.
A highly skilled plumber, I definitely recommend contacting Logslet Plumbing for any and all your plumbing needs.
So give Logslet Plumbing a call at 715-556-1673 and let Logslet Plumbing get your project flowing.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
Back here at Colfax High School, Cade Stashik leading things off in the 5th inning for the Spring Valley Cardinals. And the first pitch to Stashik is in the dirt for ball 1. Joe, you were saying something about Stashik. If he gets on base, he's probably not going to stay at first.
No, I don't think so.
And that one's also in the dirt.
Yeah, can't walk him, though.
Bring it back now, Ted.
Stashik has struck out and was hit by the pitch. The 2-0 pitch. Well, now he's been hit by the pitch twice.
Follow through, Ted. Follow through.
3-2 now.
Last time he got hit by the pitch, it drove in a run.
Yeah.
So this time, at this point, no serious damage done.
Yeah, he's going to run.
Trevor Forrester is 0 for 2. Flew out to center field and struck out. Shows bunt, throw it on to second, not in time. Stashik is safe at second. The pitch was a called strike, so no balls in one strike. And that was outside for a ball.
Yep, just missed.
Nichols trying to play with the corners.
Yeah, he is.
The runner's going. And it's a called strike.
You know, just a great athlete out there.
So they've done what they wanted to. They've got a runner on third with less than 2 outs. Nichols delivers. That one's down low.
Good stop.
Lots of ways to score a run when you get into this situation. There's a base hit. That's going to score a run out into left field. Forrester turning to go to second because the ball was mishandled. I think that's going to be a single and an error.
Yeah.
That's going to bring up Will Biggs. And he hits it out into left field.
Bring it in.
And that moves Forrester over to third. Bring up Caleb Bartko. Bartko's 0 for 2. Runners on the corners.
Biggs
Nobody
is gonna
out.
Go.
Runner goes. Vikings don't even make an attempt there. Runners at second and third now. Pitch is outside for a ball.
Just throw it by him, Ted. He ain't gonna swing.
Trevor Forrester on third. Will Biggs on second. Biggs has a 3-hit day going for him. That pitch is in the dirt. Holman kept it in front of him. Kept the runner at third.
Here you go, Ted. All right.
And the pitch. There's a strike called.
Yep.
As Bartko was taking all the way that time.
Big, strong kid.
3-1 pitch. Fly ball, right field. And it was foul. He hit that pretty hard, though.
Yeah.
And the pitch. Strike called.
That was a great pitch by Nichols.
So Bartko goes down looking. Brings up Jake Hannock, who's 0 for 2. Struck out and flew out to center field. 1 out. Pitch is inside for a ball. And the pitch. That's high for a ball. And the pitch. That one's down low for ball 3. I think Orion Nichols is getting a little tired.
Yeah, could be.
We're in the 5th inning. And ball 4. So that loads the bases. And we're going to get a conference at the mound as Coach Anderson heads out there.
Yeah, big early spot, Rick. 2-1 is not so bad. 3-1, 4-1 would be a little bigger hole.
They're having a discussion out there. He might just be calming Nichols down a little bit.
Yeah.
His pitching bench is all of a sudden reduced by about a third.
Yeah. You know, they could be talking about playing for 2 in the middle or going home. Or
I think this is a situation where, if possible, get you out at the plate.
Yeah.
All right, stepping in is Braden Gregg. And he fouls the first one off. Nichols looks in for the sign. He goes to the belt. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Greg grounded to short. Flew out to right. And the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball over to third. Scooped up, and no, it's not scooped up. And it's going to be an error over there on Grant Cook.
You know, again, Greg did a good job just putting the ball in play. Down 0-2.
He does not get an RBI on that.
Nope.
That pitch is outside for a ball. Bases are still loaded. Ground ball over to short. Bailey can't handle it cleanly. And in to score is Will Biggs. And we're going to get a pitching change.
Yeah. I think Orion Nichols did a nice job.
And we'll get that all figured out right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
to learn more or to help financially, find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
There are a lot of words I would use to describe my daughter. Kind, strong, hilarious. When I think about how much she's experienced in her life, we can't help but be inspired by her every day. So really, we're the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
Let NLWN-TV take you out to the ballgame. Our next broadcast will be on Saturday, May 10th, when we will bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks in a doubleheader from Carson Park. Live coverage on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 12 noon. That's live Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Saturday, May 10th on NLWN-TV.
Okay, I think we've got this all figured out. Caleb Bailey is on the mound for the Vikings. And the first pitch is a called strike. Moving Nichols out into left field.
Connor
Arntzen went to short. Grant Palowitz came into second base. Palowitz will be batting for Grant Paulus. One ball, one strike. Fouled at the plate. 1-2. There's one out. Bases are loaded. 3 runs in this inning for the Cardinals. Bailey fires. Check swing foul on the right side. And there's a chopper over to short, throw to the plate, and not in time. So in that case, Rudd gets credit for the single.
Well, I think that's a fielder's choice, though, Rick, if you...
Well, if they would have got the out, I think it was a fielder's choice.
Yeah. All right, we'll go with it.
Well, maybe you're right. So he's on a fielder's choice, and he does get the RBI.
Does get an RBI there.
As Hannock came in to score. And there's strike 2, or 1 ball, 1 strike, with 1 out to Mason Winger. That run, by the way, is charged to Orion Nichols. And there's another strike called. And that pitch is outside. And the pitch swung on and missed.
That's that curveball we like so much.
It is.
Yeah.
He had him pretty
Buckled
much
him.
tongue-tied there.
Yeah. This is the guy that started it all.
And he fouls that one back. Cade Stashik. And there's a called strike. No balls, 2 strikes.
Take him here, 3.
Swing and a miss for strike 3. So for the Cardinals, they picked up 4 runs on 2 hits. There were 3 Viking errors, and the bases were left loaded. So we have now played 4.5 innings, and it's Spring Valley 5 and the Vikings 1 on NLWN-TV.
Need a new look for your team, club, or organization? Check out the top quality work by SK Screen Printing and Embroidery in Colfax. SK Screen Printing and Embroidery can help with a wide variety of options, from shirts to sweatshirts and jackets to hats. Call SK Screen Printing and Embroidery at 715-533-1933 for all your group's apparel needs. That's SK Screen Printing and Embroidery in Colfax.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Well, we have a new rump on the bump for Spring Valley. That's Braden Gregg. And there's a strike called to Grant Palowitz. And he hits a high pop foul out of play. That was right behind us. I thought that might thump off the roof of our new awning here. That's the last thing we need, is to have it put a hole in the top of it. No balls, 2 strikes to Palowitz. And the pitch. Hard shot, foul ball. The numbers for Orion Nichols are in. He went 4 1/3, gave up 5 runs, only 2 of which were earned. He got a piece of that one. That's some good batting right there.
Yeah.
If it's anywhere near, put the bat on the ball and live to swing another day. Nichols gave up 5 hits, struck out 6, walked 3, and had 2 hit batsmen.
Yeah. Our defense hurt us again in that last inning.
And the pitch. That missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That pitch got away from Greg. And chop foul.
Yeah. Great spoil.
Is it my imagination, or is that Stashik out in center field? That almost looks like a 7 on the front of that shirt. You've got younger eyes than I do, Amanda. And the pitch. That missed. Palowitz has worked the count full.
Yeah, great at bat. If he could wiggle his way on, it'd be a huge one.
And the pitch. Strike 3 called. Actually, that time I think Palowitz committed the sin. Assumed he had ball 4 and took off before the umpire made the call.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe that's a 7 out there in center field. It's not a 2. And the pitch. There's a called strike. And the pitch. There's a shot out into right field. Over it and making the catch is Wyatt.
Again, Beekner hit it hard.
So here's Caleb Bailey. He's been able to get on base. He just hasn't had any luck between first and second.
Yeah.
He hits a nice shot out into the gap in right center field, and he's going to hold up at first.
All right, Zach, keep it going.
So that's going to bring up Zach Hedela. He's 0 for 1 today, grounded to short. Also drew a walk. That's a called strike. Greg throws over to first. Bailey is back in safely. And the pitch. That's high and inside. And there's a strike called. Zach didn't like that call, but it sure looked like it went right down the middle of Main Street. And the pitch. That's outside for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 down. Caleb Bailey on first. High pop foul out of play.
Bring it out.
Count holds at 2-2. Greg delivers. It's outside. The count goes full.
Yeah, Bailey will be running.
Yep, traveling time for Caleb Bailey.
Make sure he goes home.
And he's off and running, and Bailey is out trying to steal. Took off too early. So, for the Vikings, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. We've played 5 innings.
Yeah.
And it's Spring Valley 5 and the Vikings 1 on NLWN-TV.
We at NLWN-TV are excited to take you out to the ballpark for Colfax Viking baseball. Our next game will be on Thursday, May 8th, when the Vikings travel to Elk Mound to take on the Elk Mound Mounders from the Village Park in Elk Mound. Our coverage begins with the Bullpen Show, where we'll warm you up for baseball action starting at 4:40 p.m. That's Colfax High School baseball on Thursday, May 8th.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
So leading off the 6th inning is Trevor Forrester. And the first pitch from Caleb Bailey is a strike.
Forrester 1 for 3.
And he chops that one foul down the third baseline. Spring Valley has a number 15 in their lineup right now. I wonder if it's Wyatt Smith. It's the one guy on our roster that doesn't have a number. And I just checked with Sports, and he wasn't listed there either. Swing and a miss. Oh, it is Wyatt Smith wearing number 15. So Forrester goes down swinging. It's going to bring up Will Biggs. And there's a pop foul out of play. There's a fly ball out towards left field, and making the diving catch out there is Ryan Nichols. Doing it on the mound, doing it in the field.
That's a nice catch.
That's going to bring up Caleb Bartko. And the pitch. Ground ball picked up by Bailey. Throw to first in time. And a good 1-2-3 inning for the Vikings. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We've played 5.5. And it's Spring Valley 5 and the Vikings 1 on NLWN-TV.
You too can help support Colfax School Athletics. Simply join us at the Colfax School Athletic Booster Club. The Booster Club is committed to create an environment that inspires student athletes, coaches, parents, and the community to come together and create a positive and spirited atmosphere. As a member, you'll have the opportunity to plan and participate in exciting club activities like next year's Viking Gala, whose theme is going to be totally rad. The Colfax Booster Club meets on the second Wednesday of every month at the Viking Bowl. Come and check us out.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Oh, you got that. Yeah.
So we're going into the bottom of the 6th inning. Vikings have a little work to do, but they're not out of this one by any stretch.
Got to string a few hits together, a few good at-bats.
They don't have to do it all in this inning, but they need to put a little dent in it.
Be nice to get 1 or 2.
Due up this inning, Zach Hedela, Ryan Nichols, and Brady Elmer. Hedela was at the plate when Caleb Bailey got caught stealing. And he had a full count at the time.
Yeah.
Now he's going to step up with no count and nobody on.
Oh, Zach.
That's a big key. Get that first guy on.
So Hedela steps in. Braden Gregg fires. And the pitch is outside for a ball. Gregg works from the stretch all the time. That one's high. And the pitch. That's high and inside.
I think I'd take 1 or 2 here, Rick, and just that first guy on would be huge.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it'd be a red light situation for Zach right now. And he looks at called strike.
That's smart baseball.
Yep.
Maybe 1 more. I don't know.
Although this is a hitter's pitch now.
Yeah.
And he is a hitter.
Good swing.
He went after it. Fouled, tipped it into the glove. Full count now. We were here before. Full count to Hedela. And the payoff pitch. Fisted it over to third, and it's caught over there by Wyatt Smith.
Got in on his hands.
That's going to bring up Ryan Nichols. He's 0 for 2. Grounded to first and grounded to second. Hits a fly ball out towards right field, going back and making the catch. Is Wolf, Mason Wolf. That's going to bring up Brady Elmer. Elmer got on an error and drew a walk. Ground ball off the pitcher's mound and works its way out into center field. Elmer's going to get a base hit on that. It's not everybody that can carom it off the rubber.
Yeah. He looks good up there.
Here we go, Sticks.
He's one of those guys that's getting ready to just catch fire. Rob Holman grounded into a fielder's choice and popped out to short. And the pitch. That's outside for a ball. Brady Elmer's been involved in 2 double play situations.
Yeah.
Once he got to first. First time up, he was thrown out at second as Holman got out on the fielder's choice. And then the second time up, he got caught a little too far off the bag on a pop out by Holman and got thrown out, not getting back to first. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and a strike. And the pitch. He laces a shot out into center field, but it goes right to Stashik.
Hit it hard.
And the Vikings go down in the 6th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We've played 6, and it's Spring Valley 5 and the Vikings 1 on NLWN-TV.
Kyle's Market in Colfax, locally owned since 2007 and is a proud supporter of Colfax High School scholarship and athletics. Kyle's meat department is second to none and they're known for their homemade smoked meats. Don't forget the fresh veggies, cheese, and frozen foods. Kyle's Market has got it all. Kyle's Market is your hometown market where customer service is supersized. They'll even carry your groceries out to your car. That's Kyle's Market in Colfax.
You know you don't have to wear your PT gear anymore, right?
It's comfortable.
So how's civilian life treating you?
It's fine.
When I got out, I didn't want to admit that there was anything wrong because I felt like a failure. And then I realized, like, there's nothing to be ashamed of. So I started talking to someone. Maybe you are fine, but if you're not, it's okay.
Thank you.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
So we go to the top of the 7th inning.
Keep it up.
Caleb Bailey still on the mound for the Vikings. And there's a deep shot to center field. Beekner reaches up, but he can't make the catch. It goes all the way out to the fence. And checking in at second base is Jake Hannock with a good solid double. That brings up the pitcher, Braden Gregg.
Until you do that, they're going to play shallow. And they'll cut off everything you hit on. You got a tattoo on.
Gregg is 0 for 3. Grounded to short. Flew out to right. And then got on an error. The first pitch is a strike.
I've yet to see a defense play these guys deeper in Orion right.
And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Powerful looking swing, but he took his eye off the ball. And the pitch. Strike 3 call.
That's that curveball.
That's the 4th strikeout for Bailey.
Is it already, huh?
That one missed outside. Throw over to second and not in time. As Hannock dove back in. And there's a called strike to Wyatt Smith.
Take him here.
And the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Oh, it's only 2.
I think that's only 2.
Rob Holman tagged him because he thought it was the 3rd one. So the count is now 1-2. That one missed.
Not by much.
That's that curveball.
Yeah.
And again, that's one of those where missing is not always the worst thing in the world.
No.
And the pitch. High pop-up, foul territory. Holman underneath, he makes the catch.
There's a...
And they get the double play. No, they didn't tag the bag. They had him forced at second, and they didn't step on the bag.
Hey, nothing hurt.
All right, get this guy now.
And the first pitch is a called strike to Chase Rudd. And the pitch. Swung on a miss, strike two.
I like that curveball first pitch for a strike. You know, most people looking for a fastball.
Strike three called. So, no runs on one hit, no errors, and one man left on base. We've played 6.5, and it's Spring Valley 5 and the Vikings 1 on NLWN-TV.
To get your lawn or garden to perform in attracting what you want, you first need to know what your soil is working with. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, serving Western Wisconsin.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
All right, do it for the Vikings as they need 4 runs to keep this thing alive. Connor Arnson, Grant Cook, and Grant Palowitz.
Yep, last chance. Need some great at-bats.
And a line shot foul. Boy, you hit it hard.
Yeah. I think he's kind of a diamond in the rough. He's a good athlete.
He's walked twice.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be something if these first 3, Arnson, Cook, and Palowitz, all got on base and then Drew Beekner hit one over the left field fence? We'd have a tie ball game.
Love to see it.
Call me a dreamer. Pitch is high and away for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch. That one's down in the dirt. Here's the pitch. That's a strike called at the letters. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Connor Arnson. And the pitch. Pop foul out of play.
Yep, good swing. We were talking, Greg's throwing pretty hard.
Count remains 2-2. Greg delivers. That's high. Ball 3. Full count now to Connor Arnson. And the pitch. Soft ground ball over to short. Picked up. Throw to first in time.
Come on, Grant.
That'll bring up Grant Cook.
Don't have to kill it, just hit her square. She's going all.
Cook's 0 for 2. Struck out and popped to short. And there's a strike called at the knees. And that's a strike called at the knees on the outside corner.
Yeah, great pitch.
Well, Grant, I guess you know what you got to do here.
Hit the low ball, though.
Braden Grigg trying to shut this thing down. That one's high.
Yeah, the old 0-2 waste pitch. I don't like it.
Well, usually your waist pitch is just barely outside the zone.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss for strike 3. Vikings down to their last out. Grant Palowitz at the plate. He struck out looking his last time up. He thought he had ball 4. Took off before the umpire made the call.
Yeah.
So any of you youngsters watching, let the umpire make the call first. Because if you take off early, he's going to call it a strike. That's a strike at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. And the pitch, swung on a miss, strike 2. Vikings down to their last strike. The 1-2 pitch. There's a shot over to first, scooped up, and making the play is Forrester. So that'll do it.
Yeah. Good game, though. Good game.
For the Vikings, no runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Final score of today's game, Spring Valley 5 and the Vikings 1. We'll be back to talk about it on Viking Download right after this on NLWN-TV.
This has been a presentation of NLWN-TV. This has been presented for the private listening and viewing use of the TuneIn audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction in any form without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network, LLC, and Colfax High School is strictly prohibited. Stay tuned! Coming up next is Viking Download, where we take a look back at today's Colfax Viking game.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Time now for Viking Download with a talk about today's Colfax Viking baseball game. And now, back out to the ballpark.
Let NLWN-TV take you out to the ballgame. Our next broadcast will be on Saturday, May 10th, when we will bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks in a doubleheader from Carson Park. Live coverage on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 12 noon. That's live Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Saturday, May 10th on NLWN-TV.
And we're back here at Colfax High School, where the Vikings drop a 5-1 decision to the Spring Valley Cardinals in a game that they were in most of the way. Real quick line score, Spring Valley had 5 runs, 6 hits. They committed 1 error. The Vikings had 1 run on 4 hits. They committed 3 errors. The biggest problem was those 3 errors were all in 1 inning, and that really hurt them. Winning pitcher in the game was Cade Stashik, and the losing pitcher was Orion Nichols. Joe, the Vikings had their chances, and they were in this game.
Yeah, they were competitive. 1-1 game going into the 5th, and just that defense in the 5th inning. And another thing that hurt was base running mistakes. And so we're making progress, though, Rick.
And they're finding new ways to make mistakes, because they hadn't made those kind of base running mistakes yet this season. And I feel badly for poor Brady Elmer. He had 2 of them. Well, I guess the first one wasn't a mistake. He just got caught on on a fielder's choice. But then poor Caleb Bailey caught stealing twice. One was a rundown where he basically was picked off and got into a rundown.
Yeah, he had a great day at the plate, but yeah.
And then couldn't get past first base.
Yeah.
Tried to stretch a single into a double and got thrown out at second. When on the one that scored
on the throw home,
scored the Vikings run.
Yeah.
Now, this is a what if, and that is if he's not out at second, Vikings have a run in, runner at second, nobody out.
Yeah.
Things could have gotten pretty exciting.
Yeah.
But that was a big out.
Yeah. I see progress though, Rick, and yeah. I thought Nichols and Bailey both threw well, and you know, I think they're going to turn the corner soon.
I do too. I'm hoping that Zach Hedela's arm is not seriously hurt and can come back and throw yet. But we'll see. Leave it all up to the doctors and see what they have to say.
Yeah.
And because that'll make a big difference, because they've got a schedule nightmare coming up. They've got another game this week against the Elk Mound Mounders at Elk Mound, which we will be at, by the way. And then they also have next week 3 games in 4 days. And when your pitching staff is thin, that makes it even tougher. So we're waiting for Coach Anderson to come by. And while we wait for him, we'll take this time out as you're tuned to Viking Download on NLWN-TV.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
To learn more or to help financially, would find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
We at NLWN-TV are excited to take you out to the ballpark for Colfax Viking baseball. Our next game will be on Thursday, May 8th, when the Vikings travel to Elk Mound to take on the Elk Mound Mounders from the Village Park in Elk Mound. Our coverage begins with the Bullpen Show, where we'll warm you up for baseball action starting at 4:40 p.m. That's Colfax High School baseball on Thursday, May 8th.
And we're back here at Colfax High School, still waiting on Viking head coach Ben Anderson to come over. I think he's on his way.
Yeah.
I thought I saw him heading kind of in this direction. And we'll have a couple of words from Ben to find out his thoughts on this one. And he's coming around behind the dugout as we speak. In a game that the Vikings were in, this was at least an interesting game to watch.
1-1 in the 5th.
And and on a beautiful day like this, you know, what more could you ask for?
Yeah.
Well, Coach, this was an interesting ball game. You guys are finding new ways to create issues for yourselves.
100%. Yeah, we all played decent ball for half the game, and for one inning mainly didn't know what we were doing with the ball. So I just got done telling the guys we played these guys twice for 14 innings, and we beat them 12 out of the 14 innings. But yet they've won both games. So
and that's baseball.
It's baseball,
and you can't.
Yep.
And I have not seen your guys get caught in running situations, base running situations, like they had today.
5 tonight, I think, is what we had. 4 or 5, and
4.
Yeah, just things that we just can't do, and we struggle hitting the ball in general. We can't make outs on the bases, and we got to figure out ways to put multiple hits together. So, yeah, just a ton of small.
I felt badly for Caleb Bailey. We get a 3-2 count with 2 outs, and he's on first. So it's definitely traveling time, and everybody knows it. And the Vikings had been a little slow to get the message on that one earlier this season. So he got the message, and he left too early.
Yep. Yeah. Coach was over there, told him you're running on pitch, and he thought he heard takeoff. So and just it's the keep your head in the games, relax. Right. I feel like we're so young and so tense out there that that everybody's stressing over everything, and we can't get the bats going. We can't score more than 1 run, and it puts pressure on everything. Push pressure on your pitching. Push pressure on. It makes these small errors much bigger. So
we see progress. So
we're starting to find guys that can play ball, that can catch the ball.
Ryan Nichols threw a heck of a game.
Threw great.
Both them guys. Both of them guys.
Yeah,
threw really well. Yeah. No doubt. Orion can't throw to a left-hand hitter for some reason. Yeah. He knows that, and I think he hit him twice tonight. So, kind of little things like that.
Although that's not the worst guy to plug in the back.
Nope.
Not that I would ever encourage somebody to throw at a batter, but if you're going to hit somebody that could do some serious damage if he connects with the ball.
Yep. Nope. No doubt. Yeah. No. And He'll get better at it. I know he will. But little things. We pulled guys the infield up on bases loaded, and guys just got to know where to go. If it's
the play at the plate, it was just a little too much hesitation.
It wasn't hit hard enough, and it's just one of those that you got. It's that split-second decision. You got to make it if we're coming home or if we're going to first, and guys haven't played in that position a whole lot, right? And they're young. We got a lot of sophomores and freshmen playing, so
keep plugging away.
Yep,
keep
that's all we can do.
Away.
That's all we can do. So hit the ball better. That's the good thing for us. We just got to get more than 1 hit in an inning.
One guy, Drew Beekner, seemed like he hits the ball hard, but it's right at people.
He seems to find the best outfielder every time he hits the
ball. Or at least he makes him look like the best.
Right. Yeah. No, for sure. I'd love to see him get that. And that's what we thought we'd get all year was him first inning getting on base. He's got the wheels to move around and that's what I thought we'd see a lot of. And we got a few games left, so it could definitely change in a hurry. But Drew did well. We got to get some other guys hitting the ball. I don't know where our 3-4 hitters where they ended up, but we'll keep plugging away and keep hitting. And
that's all you can do.
That's all we can do.
Your 3-4 hitters went 0 for 5 on the day.
Yep. Yep. So it's Caleb had a good day at the plate. He had a 2 hits.
Caleb had a 2-hit day.
Yep. I think that's one of our first 2-hit games out of somebody this year. That's.
We love his curveball too.
He's got a nasty one. Nasty one.
He buckled a few guys.
Yeah. So
so it doesn't get any easier for you though. On Thursday, you're going over to Elk Mound, and we're going to be there for that one. What do you know? I mean, you've played the Mounders, and you struggled against them. They're a good ball club.
They're a dang good team, but good challenge for us, right? I'm going to be throwing some pretty young pitchers. Come Thursday, we just don't have a ton of pitchers beyond Caleb for Thursday, so we're going to probably throw some pretty young guys, but it's going to get thrown into the fire, and not sure where Zach's at for pitching, so we just got to go and keep plugging away, keep battling. I mean, they're a top 10 team in the state for a reason, so good opportunity, right? You only can get better playing against the better teams.
Well, good luck on Thursday. Tonight was a tough one, but you know what? The boys looked respectable in tonight's game.
They have, and in most games we played so far this year, we lost 4-3 to Spring Valley. This one was a close one. EPC was 1-0. Just about every game we've been right there. I mean, that team is 4-3 in conference, I believe, and we've won a lot of innings against them and just haven't been able to figure out a way to win. So we're not a bad team. We just got to figure out ways to win. That's for sure.
And that might be the simple fact that you're such a young team, and that's going to come in a year or two.
If we keep working away at it, it's not going to hurt us. That's for sure. Playing young guys.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Well, we will see you over in Elk Mound, and we'll be back with some final thoughts right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
There are a lot of words I would use to describe my daughter. Kind, strong, hilarious. When I think about how much she's experienced in her life, we can't help but be inspired by her every day. So really, we're the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
So we're back here at Colfax High School. Vikings drop one to the Spring Valley Cardinals 5-1. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, just, I really like Coach Anderson and his approach, and, won one game into the fifth, and just their mistakes were all run together, and they're making progress. They're making progress.
And when you're young like that, it's a snowballing kind of thing, and that happens, and that will change as these guys mature. And
I think one of the big things that Nichols and Bailey threw well enough to win, and they're going to win a game or two here and see what happens here.
And I like Rob Holman behind the plate. There were very few that got past him.
Yeah, he's got a great future, and they got to get more people with good at bats and stringing some hits together. And I love that Drew Beekner and his approach, but they got to get a few guys hot at the same time.
Well, and they're going to get that opportunity next Thursday. That's May 8th. In my notes here, it says weather permitting. The weather forecast is another day just like today, like this. So the Vikings will travel over to Elk Mound to take on the Elk Mound Mounders. First pitch is at 5 o'clock. Our coverage right here on NLWN-TV will begin with the In the Bullpen show, and that's going to begin at 4:40 with live play-by-play to follow. The Viking girls softball team's next game will be tomorrow, weather permitting, when the Vikings host the Durand, Arkansas Panthers. First pitch is at 5 o'clock. The Viking boys and girls track teams will host the Colfax track meet on Thursday the 8th. Those events begin at 4 p.m. Hey, be sure to join us on NLWN-TV on Saturday, May 10th, as we bring you the Eau Claire Cavaliers taking on the Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks in a doubleheader from Carson Park. The In the Dugout show will begin at 12 noon, followed by live play-by-play action. That's live Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Saturday, May 10th on NLWN-TV. Also, make sure you join us on NLWN2 for our coverage of vintage baseball. It's two words, base and ball, two words, as we bring you the Menominee Blue Caps playing baseball in the style of the 1860s. Did you play back then, Joe?
Yeah, I might have,
On Monday, June 23rd, we'll carry our first game. We'll bring you our coverage of the Blue Caps taking on the Flat Rock Bear Clan. They're out of Michigan, and the Fillmore Fungi from Minnesota. That's all taking place at the Menominee Baseball Festival. Coverage is going to begin at 7 o'clock Monday night on June 23rd on NLWN2. This reminder that tonight's Colfax Viking baseball game has been brought to you by Anderson Bridges, the Colfax Schools Booster Club, Chippewa Valley Museum, the Concierge, Home Decor, and more. Dairy State Bank, Lucas Electric, Kyle's Market, Logslet Plumbing, Menominee Eye and Optical, Midwest Environmental Consultants, Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, SK Screen Printing and Embroidery, the Viking Bowl, and Woods Run Forest Products. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Viking baseball on NLWN-TV. So, for Joe Doucette and Amanda Lemler on the computer, Dan Petchow on the camera, this is Rick Olson. That final score, once again, Spring Valley Cardinals 5 and the Colfax Vikings 1. You've been tuned to Viking Download on NLWN-TV.
You've been watching Viking Download with a talk about today's Colfax Viking baseball game. This has been a production of NLWN-TV.